inflation has come down, albeit from high levels. So this is again a work in progress. Inflation has to come down durably, because let's not forget, inflation is the worst kind of tax on the poor, and the poor and the vulnerable are hurting the most. And so you want to get inflation under control, and so that's something which again, in terms of monetary policy, with support of fiscal policy, has to bring inflation down to levels which are reasonable. In terms of restructuring, as you all know, the debt in Sri Lanka was assessed to be unsustainable, and that's why before the program could be approved, there had to be a path towards restoring sustainability, and that includes restructuring debt to all creditors, private creditors, official creditors, and to some extent domestic debt, for the simple reason that debt sustainability it's quite a big challenge in Sri Lanka. And, but when you restructure domestic debt, you have to make sure that you also safeguard financial stability.
What is the latest IMF view on the economic outlook of Sri Lanka and how it compares to regional economies in light of the 3 million IMF bailout recently?
Sri Lanka is a country, a quintessential problem where you had twin deficits, you had a large increase in the fiscal deficits, putting pressure on the external accounts, reserves falling, exchange rate falling. And so they approached the fund for a fund-supported program, which was approved by the board not too long ago. And that places the emphasis on, one, macroeconomic stabilization, bringing inflation down, again, the fiscal consolidation is based on revenue-based mobilization, consolidation. That's partly because Sri Lanka has among the lowest in terms of revenue mobilization, tax collection, and that goes back to the policy mistake they made pre-pandemic, where they cut taxes across the board, whether it's VAT, corporate tax, and personal income tax. The fund-supported program is a revenue-based consolidation, which provides stability to the economy. It also wants to rein in inflation, which went through the roof. It addresses governance and corruption issues in Sri Lanka. It's the first country in Asia which has had a deep diagnostic on the issue of governance and corruption, and that will feed into the programs going forward. It's also a program where we have a floor on how the country should support the poor and the vulnerable, and to make sure that the fiscal support they provide is temporary and targeted to the people who need it most. So it's a very comprehensive program, and the fiscal consolidation by itself will not be enough. The next step for them is to make good faith efforts to reach a debt agreement with their creditors, private creditors, official creditors, and so on. In terms of growth outlook itself, we had a contraction of 8.7% in 2022. We have growth contracting at 3% in 2023, and then making a mild recovery. But the issue will be for Sri Lanka to implement the program well, so that debt can be made sustainable, which is a big difference from previous programs, and the country can be put back on the path to prosperity.